Hello everyone, this is Amanda with Americana Gardens and I am visiting Hershey, Pennsylvania. They are having the annual Orchid Show. This is the recording for the 2024 Orchid Show, and I'm just going to walk you through some of the beautiful blooms that they have here. Now, look at that. Yes, there is a part one. This is part one of part 2 or part 3. I'm not sure yet. I'm still editing all of the footage, but I have lots of flowers to show you. It was really a magnificent small display, but the intricacies that these orchids show is really amazing. Now, I did not type out each name of the orchids, but I was able to get some of the tags, actually most of the tags for the orchids. So if you want to pause the screen if you see something you like and write down the name of the orchid so you can use it for future reference, that is what you shall do. Look at that display. I love the branching of that particular orchid right there. And this one is like so cute. Am I the only one that sees smiley faces on the what they call the Batman right there? It looks like smiley faces, right? The red dots are the eyes, then the nose in the middle, and then the mouth is like the cup that kind of comes out from it. Oh yeah, this little star orchid in the shape of hearts. Isn't that beautiful? That's so pretty. I love this chartreuse color. This is like a true chartreuse green. And like the whole flower is chartreuse green. It's not mixed with anything. It's like a pure chartreuse green. I love those orchids with like the cup on them. Frying Pan River, it's called. Some of these were massive too. Like they could have been the size of my palm. Ah, yes, and this one is just like the pink is so beautiful. I feel like it's like the perfect quote-unquote girl pink. Also, how I recorded this video, I recorded it on my camera, but what I did in the editing is I actually slowed down the speed of it. Because when I was at the Orchid Show, it was like, you know, you gotta kind of keep moving because there's a lot of people there and they want to see the flowers too, just like I did. So I didn't want to be like hogging up the space, so to speak. So I recorded what I could, and then in my editing software, I just like slowed down the pace a little bit. That's another white one. Actually, I went with my niece here, and she really liked that Burma peach one. This one, oh, this is just stunning. I have never seen anything like this. Those little details on these blooms. It's like a soft pink, and I never seen an orchid like this. And the leaves are very strappy, almost grass-like, if you will. Now, I really don't know a lot about orchids other than like the Phalaenopsis orchid that you could find in every store possible. Junctifolia. Yeah, that's neat. And that was actually growing on a tree trunk. Look how elegant that one is. That is just like a pure classic white orchid. Very stunning. Very stunning. I did actually pick up an all-white orchid. I don't reveal that in this video, but I actually put it in my plant room. So I'll take a picture of it and post it for you guys on the community tab. But yeah, that's like so elegant. So do I have any like orchid fanatics in my subscribers or viewerships? If so, please identify yourself. Be like, I love orchids or something. I don't know, but let me know if you are an orchid fanatic, and you can please add anything that you want in the comment section below. So this stand that I'm looking at here is pretty much the one, like it was the first stand when you walked in, and all of these had ribbons on them, I believe. I'm not really a fan of like bright colors, like bright yellows and reds and stuff, but I don't know, on orchids, I don't mind at all. Isn't that snarly? Look at all those aerial roots. That's wild. It's kind of beautiful. And like I said, I tried to get all the names that I could, the best that I could. Look at this. This is like a peachy pink one. And look how it's like roughly and on around the bottom lip there. That's what it's called. Beautiful plant. Very interesting. I could just stand and gawk at them all day. But again, it's like you had to move because, you know, there's a lot of people there. Oh, and this one, this moves. This orchid moves, and I was just blown away by this. At first, when I saw this, I was like, oh, there might be like a bug on it or something that's like, you know, putting weight on it. And I noticed that like everybody was kind of holding their breath around it to see if it would still move, and like I swear it would move at the slightest movement that a person can make, like the wind or even like the air ducts blowing something, like heat. Look how cool that is. Looks like little caterpillars or something. But yeah, that was probably the most interesting one. Look at that. So cool. Plants are fascinating. Fascinating. I kind of like that structure because it's in like sphagnum moss. In the middle kind of looks like it's braided. Like naturally, not hand done, but I thought that was kind of interesting. This is a different shape of an orchid. I never really saw that type of shape before for the flower. Oh, and the foliage to some of these. This one was really interesting because it has it's like a light pink and then some green in it too. It's quite different. I wonder what the bloom would have been like. I know there's another one like later in the video that's really stunning too. Look at that foliage. It's like pink camouflage. Can you believe this is on a plant? Like for me, it just looks animated or something, but it's real. And look at this one. This is the Milky Way. Look at that foliage. I guess this is what they would call a jewel orchid. But again, too bad it didn't have the blooms on it, but the foliage in itself is like, it's like it's an artwork, if you will. It's art, but nature's intended art. There's another one of those plants that have that unique bloom shape to it. Some more foliage. Interesting foliage for orchids. And oh, there we go. This is a new display. This was off to the right. Like when you come in, it's off to the right. The Orchid Show is actually pretty popular. Like there's people that come all over. So if you did attend this show, put it in the comments if you went. I know I have some local people, well, generally a local area. So I hope you guys were able to make it. But if not, here's the video. Did the best I could to share it with you all. Those are fun. They just, almost alien-like to me. It's neat how they have like the roof over that, their mouth, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Oh, here's another cool foliage one. It almost looks like tree bark. Like I had to double take at that. Like that's an orchid? Really? Oh! Yeah, it looks like tree bark. That is beautiful. I really should probably get more into orchids. I really should. Other than, oh yeah, and the tiny, tiny blooms. I actually had to put my hand behind it so the camera can focus a little bit more. But those blooms were so beautiful and so tiny and unique. I like it when plants, I mean, like these types of orchids here, the Phalaenopsis orchids, are very showy. You can see them from across the room, and that's fine. But then there's some plants that like you have to like take a deeper look at to kind of like appreciate what it offers. Yeah, my niece really liked the colorful ones like this. Like ketchup and mustard type of mixture there. Yeah, look at this one just like cascading over. They have a light pink petals and like the darker reddish throat. Don't get me wrong, I know like Phalaenopsis orchids are pretty common. I mean, you can find them in grocery stores, you know, but they are beautiful. And orchids, they last so long. Their blooms, they last so long. Like, I'm talking like 3 months of bloom. Great for indoor plants. Yeah, this one's cool. A lot of branching, kind of ethereal looking. I like that. No, I don't typically like red, but I could kind of like this maroonish color. It's more like peaceful to the eye, not so like jarring like bright red. Like this one, they're beautiful. Oh, they are. They're beautiful. But it's not really like a color palette that I would want in my own home. Oh, see, here's the one Phalaenopsis with the foliage. It has that silver foliage with like dark speckling on it and a dark margin and veining, and then you have this light white and pink Phalaenopsis flower. That's a cool one. I'm gonna have such a hard time picking thumbnails for these videos. Ah, here's another pink one, but with like some freckles. I like to call them freckles. I'm pretty sure you could find something like that at the grocery store. I know it says like Phalaenopsis ID number 3, but that's something that like you could find something similar in a big box store or a local nursery. Yeah, this one. This display here. Wow. Look at all the different textures that this particular display offers. Different sizes of the blooms, different colors. I thought this display was very well thought out. Yeah, and that one right there, the coronation, beautiful. My niece loved that one. Huge. That was a huge bloom. I should put my hand up next to it. It's probably like the size of my palm. Oh, and this one, it's like she called it like sunny eggs or something like that, like eggs and bacon or something like that, which I can kind of see. Scrambled eggs in the center with the yellow there. Yeah, I think overall this was probably the best display table. just because it had so many different textures on it. And I'm still going to go through more. There's a lot more coming through. All the fairy rose. Yeah, look at that. It has that pink margins and white, and it also has like the freckles but on the back of the leaves, and that's kind of unique. Like if I was a fairy, I want to live in there. That's my goal in life, to be a fairy. A flower fairy. This particular orchid, once it gets into focus, has like it has like a huge cup to it, and the petals kind of come together at the very tip. Very unique, and I thought even the buds looked beautiful. Oh, and this one has like those long tendrils, if you will. Very cool, and like a large bowl, if you will, on its flower. Very, almost looks like it's something should be like in the sea, like under the sea. Very cool plant. I know these ones are like quite expensive at the show too. The Susan one here, I like it because the tendrils, if you will, were like shorter. They weren't so long, and it also has like a pink color to it versus like orange and red like the other ones. So I thought this one was really, really sweet. Just look at how the orchids just cascade on their stem. It's so elegant. I really appreciate the black cloth that they put behind their displays. It did make getting some pictures easier. Yeah, that's a beautiful one there. I think this was more of like a coral color in person. The true color really didn't pick up on the camera. But yeah, that's a beautiful one. Michaela Black. I don't know why they call it Michaela Black. Maybe it's after like a person's name. But look how long that is. Like that is so elegant and beautiful. That has to be one of my favorite white flowers. By the way, if you ever do stop at the Orchid Show, oh, look at this. I think this is going to be my thumbnail right here. Oh, look at all that color and textures. But what I was saying is that they actually have classes that you can take regarding orchid care and stuff. And these are done by like professionals, people in the field, so I would trust them more than anybody. Yeah, I mean, wow, the colors and everything is stunning. Look at how like the petals on that one is like roughly, yeah, I'm just like panning over them. This was the best display, hands down. It also had some of my like more favorite color palettes too. Oh, I had to record the coronation one again. I like it just with that subtle hint of purple. Okay, this is a new display. For those who like logs, I have a log on my display. This person or organization also had their orchids on display with logs. They have begonias. I love that color though, that orchid. Yellows and pinks, very soft. They have some alocasias, which are my favorite plants. Foliage plants, anyway. Foliage. Correction. Doesn't that remind you of like a dark cherry color? And they have like little freckles in there. Oh, see those tiny details you can just appreciate on any plants. That's like, for me, like these plants, it's like mindfulness, if you will, mental health care, like mindfulness. Like, observe plants and notice the tiny details on them, and they are stunning to look at. Here's a pure white one. Oh yeah, I just go in the back there because I found this begonia and I was like really fascinated by that black begonia with that lime green throat, I guess if you want to say it that way. They had moss there, like a fern moss, or a winter moss, I think it's called. But it was like so dry. It needed water so bad. I felt bad for it. Oh, here's a fun colored one. Alright, new display. Oh, this is the one with the log, excuse me. Yeah, this has a better display of the logs. This is another one that has apparently a fragrance. But I like how they do this. I mean, naturally orchids grow on trees, especially in Florida, you can see it. I was told by this one lady that there's orchids in Pennsylvania. That's where I'm based out of. I was like, really? There's orchids in Pennsylvania? That's something like unheard of. And she said, yeah, they kind of grow like around the pine trees. Look for them. So I'm going to be on the hunt looking for orchids. I got to do more research about it. I love the branching of this one. Tiny flower, like little small flowers, not tiny, but small flowers, but like huge impact because of how many stems there are on it. Here's some neat foliage. Black velvet. Dark stem. Oh, look at that. So interesting. Well, there's a pretty one. See, that's more my color style. And I found that these orchids were actually kind of interesting because I didn't know they were actually even an orchid. I thought it was like a grass with like a spent bloom on it or something. I don't know much about these. I mean, they never sold them in any big box stores that I know of. But I thought it was interesting, a different texture. Yeah, this one's really cool. The foliage, the flower, it just screams like kick butt, you know? Oh, and these flowers, they kind of remind me of tulips. I was kind of fascinated with them because they kind of remind me of like tulips in bloom. It's just the way their petals on the flower is like opened and stuff. They kind of remind me of tulips. Can you guys see that too? They just remind me of tulips. I think I'm really starved for some spring color, that's for sure. Interesting shade. Oh, there was a black one on that stand that kind of cascaded down, but I couldn't get it because it was backlit by the sun. Anyway, this is a terrarium. I really want to do a terrarium with orchids, and I thought this was a neat idea because these are like tiny plants in there. too bad for the glare in the glass, but what can I do, you know? But I just thought that was so unique. And again, it's like you have to kind of keep on moving with these things because people are there and you want to keep the crowd moving. There's some nice color there. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get one of these things. I see a few of these like listed on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace for cheap, so that's always like a good place to find things for your plant hobby. You can always reuse something, nothing wrong with it. I really should have zoomed in on a lot of these flowers though. Sorry guys. But anyway, I just hope this kind of like serves as like an inspiration of like also how to display plants too. Look at that. That has to be the most outstanding cascading orchid at the show, and it has a blue ribbon. It won first place at something. Yeah, the peachy cream petals, and then they have like a more pink petal on top of the peachy pink ones, and they have a darker throat which is elongated. Yeah, I took my time walking around this one, that's for sure. I like how it's just on those long stems and is really like lifted above the foliage too. It makes it look so ethereal. That could be a thumbnail too, something like that. Like I said, it's going to be hard to choose one. Santa Barbara Sunset Showtime. That was the name of that one. I wonder how old that must have been. Or is. Yeah, thumbnail right there. I think I'm just going to take some screenshots too and post them on my community post too, because these are just, they're nice. Or maybe I'll do like a poll to like ask you guys which was your favorite one. Like I'll pick like 5 of them or something. So make sure to look out for that. Beautiful pink ones. Yeah, there is this flower behind it. You see that? I don't know the name of that, but it's interesting. It has like a leaf and it has like balls on it. I don't know. I don't know what that is, but it was really neat looking. Very unique. And I'm just showing you like the way how they display it or how they hang the orchids too. Beautiful coloring. Oh, and here's some yellow ones with like the quote-unquote tendrils hanging down that, and they kind of twist. Very unique. Very cool. Oh, and there's my niece. She has done a few videos with me, like gardening and stuff. She's just being a little camera shy. But yeah, she was like, oh man, it doesn't have a scent to it. Some orchids do, but this particular one did not. I wonder if like orchids originally had scents to them, but because they've been hybridized and stuff, I wonder if that lost over time. Oh, this lady, she wore like a little hat, like an elf hat. That is so cool. I complimented on it, and I just like kind of got the back of her because I wanted to show you guys, like, oh, that's so cute. I love the fanatics. They're the fun parts of it. I like this on the log. You see how the roots are just wrapping itself around it? It's very cool. Beautiful purple. Love the purple. All right, well, thanks for watching.